Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of The Dimensionalist. I'm a Dimensionalist. Today's topic is going to be about hacking matter, and I explain hacking matter right now. Hacking matter is, I've discussed it here and there, but I never actually went in full detail on what I know about hacking matter. It's basically taking another form of matter and making the matter into something completely different, right? And then I'll start going into detail on how and why a hologram projector is possible, you know? And hacking matter is the key to doing that, and how science fiction, the Holodeck and Star Trek can actually be possible, and scientific theory, from what I understand. Not that it's actually proven science. So we got 3D printers and stuff too. So all those things. Think about those things for a second, and then I'll start to discuss. Now, hacking matter is taking adding, removing protons and neutrons, and electrons in a certain form of matter. In the periodic table element, there's matter that is, that gives its configuration, like of whatever it may be, the substance it is, the way we perceive it is. Protons, neutrons, and electrons. So what I'm saying is, the sum atomic mass is made up of, its configuration. So if there's a certain number of protons and neutrons and electrons, and you have, a sum atomic mass number, think of it like this. If there was to add or remove those numbers, you can change the form of matter of whatever it may be, and become a different form of matter. Like, if it takes 5 or 6 protons and 5 or 6 neutrons, and then to add and remove a few of those to become something completely different. I'm not, whatever it may be as an example. It's not necessarily alchemy. Alchemy uses another form of matter to push against another matter and it changes. But it's supposedly a silica, electron, silica-based nanoscale charge on the nucleus of the atom, and on a mass scale, all those forms of matter and things will change its form to another form. You could take rocks, for something very easy to obtain. Rocks from the ground, and you would electron charge on a nanoscale, and you would make it delete or add a certain number of protons and neutrons to its to completely change its subatomic number, and that would make it and give it its configuration. So the matter is extremely it's very balanced. It holds form with whatever matter is. It's just something that you have sits in front of you, and it just changes instantly. There's a form of decay process where it actually changes its form in that matter, in that way. But in adding coldness, heat, wind, a wind factor, or whatever it is, erosion, and stuff like that will change. It can change form of matter also, but something in front of you instantly right then and there is not going to change its form of matter. What form of matter right here in our universe is what it is, and it will retain what it is unless another energy form bonds with it and it changes its form of whatever it may be. So now, in hacking matter, like I said, it has its form. So if you're going to go down to the microscopic scale where you can see those protons, neutrons, and electrons, and use the silica-based, from what the book says. It's a book, by the way. You can look up Theory of Hacking Matter. And the book explains that it can delete and add and make it come a completely different matter. So we're going to push it out of the way right now, and then I'm going to get on how the holodeck can be real. The holodeck can be real. My theory behind it for all the research. This is how it can be possible. If you not know, light is the lightest substance. It's matter. It is the lightest form of matter. It's light. It's the lightest. You know, it's very, very light, like 0.0000000, and all the way to these so many zeros, 1. You know, and that's what makes light. You know, that's how light is technically. You know, if it had to give a weight to it, which is insane. So, okay, and if one was to, you know, like lasers, that's, you know, laser beams, red lights and things, you could see the red light and, you know, the beam, and, you know, it's more solid, you know, it's more, it's heavier, but it's projected and pushed. That's why, and isolated, the reason why the laser appears, you know. So, you know, using mirrors and things. So I was thinking there was a certain, if mirrors could be used, you know, if that mattered, but not that it's needed. But if there's ways to have light, you know, there's radiation, light radiation, and stuff like that used in medical. So if someone was to use light, lasers, and there's laser beams that can harm someone. You know, laser technology, you know, they use to shoot out missiles and things and stuff like that, and anti-ballistic missiles. But anti-ballistic missiles take out ballistic missiles, of course, because anti-ballistic missiles. But lasers also are anti-ballistic missile technology because it's missiles, takes it out of the air, shoots a beam, boom, makes it explode midair somewhere far away, because that beam of light that it shoots is solidified. That beam of light can travel. It's so light and so heavy at the same time. Like it's so compact and it's light and it travels. It can take out, you know whatever it may be, a plane or something, or like I said, a ballistic missile, missiles, nuclear warheads, for that matter. So now you got those lights, those forms of light, and now if someone was to isolate that and can make it, that light be isolated, and everything's done in an area. Like, I'm not saying a box. The box is a three-dimensional square. Let's say we use a square, for instance. The three-dimensional square is going to give its form, and its form to where it's located. It's going to be the form where everything's located, to where you do the experiment to see if you can solidify light, and then you solidify this light, it's a laser, and then you could use that form of laser to add and remove protons, neutrons, electrons, and make it become a completely different form of matter. And the reason why I mention that is because the matter itself can be changed, because on the nanoscale, if they were going to nanoscale on that laser or that beam or that optical beam, and can grab a hold of that atom that makes it what it is, because it's an atom, and make the atom, it's a laser, it's what it is, laser, like it's something, it's not like it's not tangible, it's tangible, like a thought or idea, or the political system. Oh, that stuff is not tangible ideas. People make actions to make political systems work. But on back to my topic. The light, or that laser, or light itself, or light projected as a laser in a certain area, and making it into a form and holding its position for a silica-based nanoscale, for it to add and remove protons, neutrons, electrons, to however many protons, neutrons, electrons, to give it a completely specific subatomic number, and then you add and remove as many as it needed right then and there, very quickly, and that technology can create any object you want, as long as you have the grid, the format, and the blueprint of whatever it may be, protons, neutrons, electrons, whatever that item may be. Quickly, for what it may be, is if you want H2Os, 2 hydrogens and oxygen, and then there's a certain atomic mass for that to happen. So if a laser was to be shot into a certain area, and you were to hold its form in a box or a certain area, and then you use the nanoscale to a silica-based electron charge to add and remove protons, neutrons, electrons into H2 to its configuration of H2 and O, two hydrogen, one oxygen, it would become water. That would be its configuration at that point. Thus, you're using a beam of light, a laser, and transforming it into matter, another form of matter. In itself, it will become water. Like, that is the theory of hacking matter, and that's how a holodeck would work. And that's how I know that the holodeck can be real. But look up the book. If you, didn't make none of this stuff up. It'd be too grand of an idea for me to come up with it, you know. But for my studies and things, and my research, and then my idea with the laser form of matter, how could we closely get to this projected beam of light, like how Star Trek does it, you know, and this thing form in front of us a certain item, an object, and that would be the idea behind it, and physics and science to that regards. So keep that in mind, that I think it would take another 300, 400 years before we have some type of technology like that, and using 3D printers. 3D printers are going to come up to have that ability, because 3D printers print things in place. And if we gotta have certain matter place things, and then go in with electron charge, silica-based electron charge, add and remove protons, neutrons, electrons, become a different form of matter. You got a 3D printer printing a form of matter, and then you're altering the form of matter to something completely different. That's not what it is. Not even what the 3D printer can have. But the 3D printer also had the hacking matter, on the book theory of hacking matter, and the complete theory that it can actually add, remove protons, neutrons, electrons on the nanoscale. You're going to be creating other forms of matter with a 3D printer, along with the technology of 3D printer. So it'd be like a 3D printer hacking matter system, you know? And you just have the blueprint to where it print whatever it may be, and then convert its matter over to something else, because that would be the next step. And then you would think, why don't you just 3D printers print out whatever it is with whatever material it is? Yeah, that's true. But to take it to the next step, to where you take whatever rocks or anything on the ground and have to find a material, you've already got you got an edge in creating stuff from the simplest forms of matter. You know, you take rocks on the ground, which you can find anywhere, in the grass, but that'd be a little bit easier if you use two different forms of matter. You just want one form of matter, like rocks. You add, remove protons, neutrons, electrons, so the information that's being processed through the computer that's doing this silica-based add, remove protons, neutrons, electrons on the nanoscale, which is below the microscopic scale, a lot smaller than microscopic, then you would be able to have a real holodeck using 3D printer and hacking matter technology. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed another video of The Dimensionalist. Check out the book, Theory of Hacking Matter. The Theory of Hacking Matter, look it up on Google. There's a website that gives out a free PDF for the book. Read it. It's long. It's very, very, very complex. I would go in more detail. One day I'm going to go in more detail. Maybe I'll pick up the book, do some slight quotations from the book, and critical review for the book, and show that what I've just discussed here today is completely possible using science. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, Dimensionalist. Remember, I'm a Dimensionalist. Peace.